I think that's a skill, being able to simplify things that's understandable by millions of people. Always at war. I'm able to achieve the goals I set for myself, but just not in the time span that I set for myself.
That you can't control. Welcome to another episode of Time for More podcast. Today we have a special guest, a YouTuber with 15 million subscribers, and the world's best edutainment content creator that I know with inspiring videos. Welcome, HAFUGO.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming all the way here.
Of course,
in San
very
Francisco.
happy to be here. I mean, it just happened to be a coincidence that I was doing a talk at a conference, O2 Connect, and you guys hit me up, and here we are.
I'm sure like everyone knows you, but could you do a little intro about yourself?
Yeah, of course. So my name is HAFUGO. I run a channel that aims to make learning fun again. So we make a lot of videos exploring different hobbies, tech innovations, and just things that I'm personally interested in. And how that all started is I was in college. I was very bored in marketing class, and I just wanted to kind of do something more practical and put like my learnings to the test. So that's why I started social media, and I started by like documenting my life. I was just making study with me's, day in the life videos, study tip videos, and I would be like in college editing videos while my friends were studying for finals. So that's how I started. And after I graduated, I took the theme of learning, and that's kind of my content now. We try to make learning fun.
What did you major?
I did major in marketing, and the first question people ask me is, was that useful?
Yeah, what's that useful?
No. I don't think I've ever applied any of the theories that I learned in marketing to what I'm doing now.
You're more into like science and stuff too, right?
Yeah, science, tech, that's what I personally like.
It was your interest like since when you were young?
No, not particularly, but like I feel like when I was young, I was very into like hands-on things, like arts and crafts. I was like making all these like DIY projects and like art projects. I made like a Minecraft figure out of like paper and made it into like a 3D shape. So like I always love the hands-on stuff and building things. So I feel like the extension of that now as an adult is like science, engineering, and tech. That's like the real life version of building things.
That's why you can explain it more easily to other people too, I think.
You know, I think that's a skill. Being able to simplify things into something that's understandable by millions of people. I would say a part of my job is like I work with a lot of brands, right? And I work with brands and I talk to my audience. And I kind of act as a translator for the brands, because the brands, all they know is like, we gotta talk about the specs, we gotta talk about like all the cool features, but like the audience doesn't care about that. So I have to do the translation of simplifying it down and talking about the things the audience will care about. I would say for YouTube, what our content is, we're storytelling for the masses, right? Like we're trying to like entertain. We reach on a monthly, this month we're reaching just on YouTube alone 450 million people. Wow. So like imagine speaking to 450 million people. That's like unfathomable to me. like that's like a whole country.
Yes,
right?
it is.
So like being able to communicate to the masses is a way different skill.
Like whenever you translate some information to your audience, like do you have like rules for it?
Yeah. I think the two things I always think about when I write scripts or whatever is like, I think about how can I make this shorter and how can I make this simpler and make it into like a 5th grade reading level. So like, if it's like I'm using big words and like scientific words, like that's not going to be understandable by like a mass audience. So like I have to like dumb it down a little bit. So simpler and 5th grade reading level.
I think like if you've been a marketer, you've done great, because that's what marketing is, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, technically like what I'm doing now is I'm marketing for brands. So I guess it's like a full circle moment.
That is. Yeah. You made like 10 million subscribers in 1 year, and it's like growing fast still now too. What was the biggest difficulty in that process?
The way I think about YouTube is like your growth will come in stages. Like in the beginning, all I was trying to do is just think about like how do I make one viral video, right? Like how do I crack that formula? How do I like learn the algorithm, right? That's all I was thinking about in the beginning. And then I reached my first million viewed video, and that was great. All right, how do I do it again? And then once you find your footing as a YouTuber, like you are able to consistently generate like some views and you garner an audience. Now, the problem is like, how can I make more content? As I grow through the different stages of YouTube, I have to consider different problems because being a YouTuber is not just about content creating. You also have to be a business owner. You have to think about how to manage the team. You have to like think about how to communicate with brands. Like you have to think about so many different things that are not the content creation part. And I feel like that was the hardest part. Like stepping away from just creating content into creating a business. When you start bringing on other people onto your team, you start hiring people. So like the first person I hired was like an editor, right? When you hire someone, you gotta think about, all right, how do I get them to do what I do without compromising the quality? Once you figure that out and hire more people, now I have to like think about how do I structure payments for everyone? How do I think about incentives? It's like so much like stuff that like it's kind of boring, but like it's necessary. And then I have to think about like how do I motivate the team? How do I set the company vision? Like it's like more and more just like builds on, you know, over time.
So it's like an entrepreneur, and I feel like so same like feelings because like our company has been like a year and a half years old, and then we're like hiring more people now, and then so we have to think about the culture and like the motivation and the process and everything. And I also have to do finance too. Like I hate it.
Managing people is hard, man. It's difficult. It's something I had to learn how to do, and I'm still learning how to do. And I have to balance that with making content because like with content creation, it's not like a traditional business. I am the bottleneck. No matter what, like no matter how big I scale this, if I want to be in front of the camera, I am the bottleneck. So then that means I have to balance being in front of the camera and managing the company and like growing the business. So like there's so much I gotta do at once and do it well if I want to grow. That's definitely the hardest part.
When was the most hardest time, like of all, and how did you like defeat it?
I don't know. I don't think there was like one period that stuck out to me. I feel like it's a constant battle. Always at war.
That's true. Like you never got burnt out? Did you have any slumps?
Like every year towards the end of the year when people go on holiday, I kind of like reflect about life a little bit. And I feel like that's my burnout in a sense. Like for like a couple weeks to a month, I'm not really making videos. I'm just thinking about like, all right, what am I doing with my life? And that's been very consistent year over year. It's not something I plan for. It just so happens that way. I guess like I haven't really burned out in the traditional sense, but the end of the year self-reflection is kind of a mini burnout in a sense, maybe. I don't know.
And then when you start the content calendar rolling again, you just like go back to war mode again?
Yep.
I guess you're born to it.
Yeah.
Born for it, yeah. Wow. Do you ever get stressed, like badly, or is it just enough amount of stress to get you motivated?
Yeah, sometimes. This week has been kind of stressful, just because like I had to prepare for the presentation that I was giving at the talk, and then I had to like figure out like 3 different videos that I was filming. So like this week has been stressful, but I think overall I have a like very high tolerance for stress. And because of that, I don't really feel like overwhelmed. I can like sense when I'm a little bit more stressed, but like overall I'm like pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. I think you might probably have a strong motivation that just keeps you rolling. What's your like core motivation?
There's so many, man. There's so many. I think what I want to do is I want to change culture. Because right now, what's popular in culture is the negative stuff, like drugs, violence, debauchery. I mean, like, those could be fun sometimes, but like, that is what like teenagers are singing about. That's what's popular in rap, in music. And I feel like I want to change culture and make positivity cool. I want to make learning cool. I want to make personal development cool. So like, basically the content I'm creating, the bigger we get, the more we're able to impact culture. So that's the bigger vision here.
Why do you think the kids are like following those stuff?
I mean, because that's like traditionally what's been cool. Like, because like people talking about positive things aren't doing it in a cool way. The people doing the opposite side just don't have swag.
But like you're making the positive step.
Well, I'm trying to be more swag.
Yeah, swag. Yeah.
I'm trying to make positivity swag.
Yeah, and that's working.
I hope so. I
That's
mean, I
working.
hope so. The reason why I started YouTube is because I was in college and I was trying to like, people were telling me, find a passion that you'll never work a day in your life. And I didn't have anything. And I felt like I was working every single day. So I was just like frantically trying to search for something that I wanted to do in my life. And I tried like social media marketing. I tried paid ads. I tried to be an assistant for a blog writer or something like that. And once I bought my first camera and I made my first YouTube video, I fell in love with the creative process because I was able to take an idea that was in my head, imaginary, and make it into something tangible within a week. And that kind of just like re-sparked that creative energy I had as a kid making like arts and crafts projects. And I was able to take something in my mind, put it into the world within such a short turnaround time. And I really loved that process. And that's what's kept me going even till today. Just being creative and making things into reality.
Whenever like things are going well, you don't really get stressed a lot, but times are always not like sunny side, right? And then there's always times where like the views don't go up, like views just seems like it's decreasing. The subscribers are not like booming up like as usual. I'm sure you probably had that time. Like, weren't you stressful at that time?
Numbers always go up, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's swag.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, of course. There's always ups and downs. I mean, like within like YouTube, it's always like cycles. But once in a while, like I zoom out, and if I look at our trends on a yearly basis, we're always growing year after year. So it's just about getting perspective.
Man, I hear like, you know, a lot of YouTubers are retiring because they feel like their life is just on a treadmill. They have to consistently push out content, and they're like just looking at numbers. It's just like wearing them out. I guess you never had that feeling, like strongly at least.
That's a difficult question. Very difficult. Because from time to time, I definitely feel like there are things that I want to do, but I don't want to sacrifice building the company and like making videos to do. For example, like one of the things I would love to do is like I want to just like go off into the woods and then like read books for a month. But I'm like, all right, can I justify that? Like, like especially right now, it's like hitting Q4. Like that's when like the sponsorships are coming in. Like when I started YouTube, this is gonna sound so like narcissistic, but like I saw so many I'm retiring type of videos from the YouTubers I used to watch, and I always like I was like couple thousand subscribers, but I always felt like I am mentally stronger, and that is going to be my competitive advantage as a YouTuber, because I'm able to stick out the thick and thin. I'm able to go through the ups and downs and be able to handle that. And in the game of YouTube, if you stick around long enough, you will come out on top.
I totally agree. Yeah. You probably have a strong trust in you that like I'm not gonna break. Where did that like confidence come from?
I think confidence can come from a lot of places. Competence breeds confidence. So the better you are at your craft, the more confident you'll become. But in the beginning, a lot of my confidence came from reading books. I read a lot of personal development books, and ever since like grade 10, I made it like a goal of mine to develop my confidence, because I used to be like very shy, couldn't talk to a stranger at all. And so it's kind of funny that I'm talking to like millions of people online. So books, practice, and honestly, like sometimes just like blind belief. Where that comes from, I don't know, but I do believe that I'm able to make my dreams happen. I am a goal setter. Ever since I started reading the personal development books, all right? And just over time, my confidence grows because I'm able to prove to myself that I can make happen what's in my mind. And for example, in the first grade of university, one of my goals is to make $100,000 a year. And I eventually made that happen.
In university?
No, after I graduated. So like one thing I realized about myself is I'm able to achieve the goals I set for myself, but just not in the time span that I set for myself.
That you can't control.
So eventually I will reach my goals. It's something that I've realized over time. I don't know when, but eventually it will happen. And that belief just grew stronger and stronger as I have accomplished more of my dreams.
I guess then those small success made more bigger success, and that makes you stronger and
Of course,
stronger.
yes.
Then like, do you have a life goal that you believe that you're gonna achieve someday?
I think content will always be a part of my life, whether that's through YouTube or traditional media or whatever it is, like VR or whatever. You know, like we don't know how content will change over time, but I think media will always be a part of my life. But one of my goals is to build impactful products.
Products?
Yeah, I want to, the equation for what I do is I want to achieve maximum impact. And I have an equation for impact, which is reach times depth equals impact. So right now we have a lot of reach, right? We have like hundreds of millions of people that we're reaching, but I feel like the content is not as deep as we could go. So like over time, I'm planning in injecting more like depth into the content, more themes of like personal development, maybe more like storytelling, deeper storytelling, more character development, stuff like that. And I think the ultimate form of depth is things that you spend the most time with. And obviously, if you were thinking about that, it's like family has the most impact on you, obviously, because you spend so much time on family and like close relationships. But also products. You spend a lot of time with those select few products, like your iPhone. People spend like 6 to 8 hours a day on their phone.
More than that.
Yeah, right. Like depending on who you are,
Yeah.
12 hours sometimes, right? So if I want to achieve maximum impact, I need to achieve maximum reach and maximum depth. So I think I can do the depth part through products better than through just video.
Can you give like some? Are you doing it right now?
No,
or like
I'm not. I'm
just,
not.
Like in your
right now,
brains?
I'm literally all in on the content side. But one of the cool things about doing social media is it affords me the opportunities to explore, and like I get to see cool companies. I get to talk with cool people like you, Tom, and then I basically get to sample what's out there. And I become more knowledgeable through my content creation journey. And eventually I'll be able to like see what the market is missing and what I can uniquely provide. So right now I'm not too focused on it, but it's like in the back of my head.
So it sounds like you want to be a startup CEO someday. Is it like, I think you're already a startup CEO because that like your company is a startup with like a huge successful startup, and you want to build a product kind of startup CEO too, right?
Yeah, I think startups are interesting to me. The vision I have, honestly, is like I would love to be, Iron Man, Tony Stark.
Oh, of course.
Like I think like Iron Man's so cool because like he's able to make products, and also like he has this convention called StarkCon, which is like basically like the World Tech Convention. I think if I'm able to do something like that, it would be super cool.
And he has great impact to the world.
Of course. Yeah.
Everyone just like wants to follow what he does next. And then I guess you're going to be next Tony Stark.
I mean, we'll see. Yeah.